Happy new moon in Virgo. Woo! And tomorrow, the Mercury, our communication that is in Virgo, is going to go direct. So this is about clarity. This is about, it's not so sexy, but it's really worth taking in. Think of everything right now in your life as an investment. Where do you spend your time? What are you investing in when you do that? Where do you speak and where do you listening? And what are you investing in by listening to that, by speaking that? It's all about really managing the energy and the investment and what is the return, because there needs to be a high voltage return to your soul right now. We are getting ready for one of the biggest couple years of humanity. Now, it's interesting, astrologically, this year that we're in has so much intricacy and potency on taking energy from our cosmos and kind of grinding you like, are you sure that's what you want? Is that how you want to spend your time? It is directing energy around our false self and breaking it down. So anybody who is or has been on a spiritual path, and however that looks, but meditating and praying and doing things that are escalating your energy. And as our energy elevates, it also has an abrasiveness, right? There's a alchemy that when your consciousness is purifying, then it really highlights, oh my God, I'm lying to myself here, or oh my gosh, I cannot begin to understand why I'm wasting so much time and money and energy there, or, you know, this relationship is at its end and why do I keep going back? And with this intensity, we can get too intense with ourselves. So let's talk about that, because some of you have heard me say, I want to write a book called The Art of Falling Apart. We have been in the last 5 years especially, and you may have gotten your reservation to fall apart called to you. We've been falling apart. What that means is we can't keep it together, our false self. So for me, it was like, part of it was I have a big stick in my hand about my success at work. And that's how I made myself do it. That's how I was a cheer mom and a wife and working at State Fund and started taking yoga trainings and then started teaching yoga. Like, it was a super mom, super fucking thing doing to myself. And it worked for a while. But if I were to be very honest with myself, it started breaking down in 2016. Like, this has got to stop. And I kept saying, I will. I swear to God, I will. I'll go on a vacation. I promise. I will. And I didn't. And it's all perfect. So what happened for me was the energy got to a crescendo, and it was like, there's no choice, Marcia. You're breaking down. You can't keep showing up like Superwoman. The gig is up, okay? Now, what does that have to do with Virgo? Well, Virgo has that Superman, Superwoman type of energy, because it is an absolute amazing analysis person energy. Like, it can really track everything that's going on for themselves and everybody in their lives and really come to some pretty accurate conclusions about what can stay and what has to go. So this is what you're being gifted with. This is why this new moon is about, what are you investing in? Now, while Mercury in Virgo has been in retrograde, it has been about, look at your mind. What's going on? How are you doing? Right? And looking at where you're spending your time, and are you investing in you? And I'm just going to say it, okay? If you're coming to the studio once a week, twice a week, you are hungry for something inside of you that only you can deliver. And you can deliver it. But I'm just going to give you some helpful advice. When I was in your position, I just jumped into immersions. I did like 10 immersions. You might think, oh my God, that's crazy. Yes, probably you don't need to do 10. But what it did was it taught me to be get myself in this intense Kundalini energy, intense spiritual learning, intense journaling, and learn how to put that into what I call our real lives. Sometimes the us we feel at the studio is not necessarily the us we're experiencing in our lives. So that's why we do like 40-day meditations and like this 3-day immersion that's coming up. It's to push you over the edge, to give you a more solid feeling in that. And whether you do this or not, this Virgo energy is going to look at your inventory, right? How much money is spending on Starbucks? How much money are you spending on your nails? How much money are you wasting, on food, buying out rather than cooking? And Virgo wants to look at it all, not just, oh, you're wasting money, but by doing that, you're not in good health. And by doing that, you're not meditating enough. And by doing that, you're not choosing you, right? Virgo's going to click all the boxes, and the inventory is going to say, you're not investing in you. So this is what this new moon wants you to look at. Where can I take some slices of time this year for me? And Virgo can plan, because Virgo wants a strategy. Now, I'm going to look at this next year, and I'm going to plan, and I'm going to put certain spaces of time and space for my healing, for my meditation, for me to become more whole and more my power. This is huge. Have you seen the collective? Have you seen what's going on? It is going to be all wrapped up in the political, but the political is not the thing. It's about showing that humanity is at war. It's not about our leaders. Forget about them. Doesn't matter who you vote for. It does, but it doesn't. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you don't. But what I'm saying is, what the bigger problem is we're at each other's throats. We don't trust each other. We don't love each other. And the reason we don't trust and love each other, don't point the fingers, y'all. Because what happens when you do that? 3 are pointing back at me. Okay, so it means, Marcia, if you are feeling this fear for the world and where it's going, it's because there is some healing that has to happen here. There is a lack of self-love and a lack of self-trust. So last year, from April to May, it was like Tony's birthday to Mother's Day, I had a total, in a way, a mental breakdown. I don't know if y'all remember, but I was getting lots of subs and and what was happening is I could not carry the stick of success anymore. I could not beat myself into this. I had to want it, and I had to let go, and this will happen to you wherever you are still playing a role, and you don't have to necessarily be beating yourself with a stick. You might be, using drugs or alcohol or overspending to numb and medicate yourself so that you can deny the position you have put yourself in. We're all doing something. And all I want you to know is this Virgo moon wants you to see the greater part of who you are, and it wants you to believe. Okay, so what does believing look like? Why believing? Because the Virgo moon is at 21 degrees, which is so supportive, because 21 is a Sagittarius degree, and that is mutable just like Virgo. The Sagittarius wants to seek the truth. So this inventory that this new moon is going to be instigating with you is wanting you to find the truth about you. Where are you wasting time? Where are you, being enamored with your fears so that you will not have to face what you know you want? This is a big part of this energy that's happening right now on the planet. And it's going to cycle through, as we go into Libra, because Libra is going to really amp up the soul lesson of Aries choosing you. And what it is we are having to drop things from our lives and not be in it. And the space is not going to be instantly filled. And I'm right there now. It's like, I don't really know what's going on. All I know is I'm not doing the bad thing. That's huge. In fact, I would say being able to hold in the I don't know and not fixing it. It's like stopping the bleed, stopping the pain, but pausing. Don't be so quick to get a new job, to replace, and get more money, to leave the guy and get a new guy, right? It's like, I left the guy. I left the job. I started this thing. and not sum it up and do what we normally do. Because here's the thing, even if you make changes on the outside based on an inner truth that needs to come forth, if you make that change and still be the you've always been, you can take the best guy and turn him into the biggest asshole. That's just how it is. You can take the best job and turn it into a nightmare. I know I've done that twice. One of them was when I'm working for myself, So what is the common denominator, Marcia? Right? And it's fixable. It's fixable. You are so precious. I love you so much. So it's inventory time. That's what we're doing. And so you want to make time for you. By the next time I see you, it will be the first day of Libra. It will be the 40 day. Start with that. Start by just saying, because it's a free workshop. So all you're really investing in is the time. However, I would suggest that you pay $40 to have the pep talks and the toolkit so you really understand how and why you're doing what you're doing. But it's like you're saying, okay, I'm going to deeply listen to my soul. That's what this next meditation is about. And I'm going to step into my nobility and rise to the occasion. And then see what happens. Just add that. Happy, happy new moon. This is about you feeling your feelings and letting those show you where you need more self-love, and letting self-love open you up to a truth that you're ready to see, you're ready to hear, you're ready. And then tomorrow, that's when Mercury goes direct. And what does that mean? It means, we can think a little clearer. And, those things we just didn't want to make a decision about, you're going to go, gosh darn it, I'm going to make a decision. Y'all better watch out, because I'll be making a decision at Stonehenge. So, I might do an Outlander and go through the stone. So pray for me. I love you so much. Happy new moon. I will see you soon. Sat Nam.